This is Jordan's 2001 Zinc Yellow Mustang GT. Jordan's dad had a Bullet and his uncle had a 2003 Terminator Cobra. And so he liked and respected Mustangs for a very long time. Jordan is 19 years old now, and I wish I would have had a GT like that when I was 19. When he was 16 years old, he had a Honda Civic, and he worked at McDonald's, and he was saving his money up, and he found this GT being parted out on Craigslist. The main reason they were parting this car out was because it had a blown engine. And so he looked around, and he was lucky to find this 15,000 mile 4.6 liter 2-valve engine. Now, he said it came out of another Mustang, but looking at it, it looks like, to me, it may have actually come out of an F-150, judging by these extra pieces on it and the intake manifold and things. But either way, it wouldn't have mattered because the modular 2-valve engine that was in the F-150, the Crown Victoria, the Mercury Grand Marquis, and especially depending on the year, you can see that the oil filler neck is on that passenger side valve cover. That means it's the PI head, which would be the newer one, which would match his car. Even the Explorer with the 4.6 was the exact same engine, same camshaft, same cranks, same rods and pistons. Everything is exactly the same. The only difference would be the oil pan, the exhaust manifolds, intake manifold, a couple of things that bolt onto the engine. So either way, he got a really nice low-mile 2-valve engine for this car. Well, the engine was out of the car. They put in a brand new BBK throttle body, intake manifold, cold air intake, short tube headers with off-road X-pipe, new injectors, pulleys, everything. And so the engine went in the car and was running and sounded great. Unfortunately, the very next day the transmission locked into second gear and they had to go to his uncle's shop called RMP, and they had the transmission rebuilt, which cost him another $850. But now everything was new in the car. The engine, the transmission, the paint looked great. It looks really good with those FR500 wheels. You can see he's added a shorty antenna and that he decided to take off the rear spoiler, make it look kind of like a Bullet, and the headlights are blacked out. It attracts a lot of attention because it's zinc yellow, which I really love, and the interior is amazing. And you wouldn't believe it, but this car, the body and everything, actually has 230,000 miles on it. The engine only has 20,000 and the transmission is recently rebuilt, so it's actually in really good shape and it drives great. So here's a video of the first startup with the new engine. Here's a look at that interior. It looks great for the mileage. I'm actually surprised it still has the rubber cup holder insert after all those miles. Still has the stock radio. The only thing he's changed in here is the shift ball. And I love how smooth the 4.6 runs. It just sits there almost still and runs so nicely. And something he said was he loves the car. It's not a Cobra, but he can still go out and have a lot of fun with it. So here's a few burnouts. And how about some racing at the drag strip against the new STI? And this one is great, racing a Porsche Boxster, and the Boxster takes the hit, and they still reel him in.
One, two, three!
And here he goes against the 97 Cobra. Here's his GT in the driveway next to his dad's Fox body, and this is unfortunately a time where he got pulled over, but he was honest with the police officer, told him he was speeding, and they let him go. But anyway, here's a couple pictures of the GT, you know, a little walk around. His GT means a lot to him, and to a lot of us, we go to these cars for comfort. We look to these cars as something to keep us out of trouble, to keep us happy, to keep down anxiety, something to make us happy when we feel depressed. And so that's what his GT is doing for him, and I think that's really awesome. And so I really love the Zinc Yellow. Some people don't like it and give him a hard time, but man, I think if you love it, then that's all that matters, and it really is an awesome color. There's no reason to hate on such an awesome car, and you cannot deny that people are going to look at it when it goes down the street because it catches your eye. So here's a little picture of him getting it detailed recently, and he just recently added a Mach 1 chin spoiler, so the car is looking great. So I think this is a really awesome car. I'd be happy to daily drive such an awesome car myself. I think it looks good with the FR500s, the blacked out headlights, everything. And so this is a really cool story about a nice GT that was saved. It was being parted out, it had a blown engine, and I'm really proud of him for taking it and fixing it, putting a new engine in it, and enjoying it. And like he said, he can go out and have fun with this car. Has an awesome V8, it sounds good, you can go do burnouts and donuts in it and really enjoy it. So I'll leave you with one of his burnout videos here as we end the video. So thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this story, I sure did. And remember to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more of these Mustang stories.